Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here, 3:20 a.m. Monday, October 28th, 2013. Gotten everything unboxed except for Series 3 Mega Ram Spyro. That's what we're going to knock out now. Everything is uploaded except for Lava Bar for Rupture. I've got that rendering now. Gilgrunt and someone else, Twin Blade Chop Chop, those two are uploading right now, so we'll see how that pans out. That said, Mega Ram Spyro, he's the last one, saved him for last. Essentially, all of Wave 2, all of Wave 1, the starter packs, Wii U Dark Edition, Wii U console, 3DS, everything's been unboxed, adventure packs, battle packs. So this is it, Mega Ram Spyro, conveniently this time. And I think this is something that should probably be done every time, assuming he's reposed, is be available at launch. A lot of people kind of bummed out it took so long to get Series 2 Spyro. Speaking of that, I've got all of his iterations here. We've got from SSA Series 1 Spyro, we've got Dark Spyro, exclusive to the SSA 3DS starter pack, at least here in the US. Legendary Spyro, he was a Toys R Us exclusive back in the SSA days. There's Series 2 Spyro right here at the forefront. We have Series 3. They call him Dark Spyro. To me, like I said, I'm going to refer to him as Dark Mega Ram Spyro or Series 3 Dark Spyro, just because SSA's Dark Spyro is Dark Spyro. So, that said, we're now going to open this up. This is definitively Mega Ram Spyro. You can see here really nice artwork. Again, this relates to his Wow Pal. It's called Head Start. It looks pretty interesting. Basically, looks like a little caricature, of the head is going to come off and just sprint forward. Kind of ties in, I suppose, with the Blitz Spyro type thing you see at the end. Series 3s, they have the rounded edge. You can see it denoted there. We've got it here on the side and, of course, on the back. He is, of course, Magic Element. Mega Ram Spyro's slogan, all fired up. Should be interesting to open this guy. I think it's going to be a real nice look for him. We can then do a better comparison for you. Price, $9.99, $10.99 at Toys R Us currently this week. Sunday the 27th through Saturday, November 2nd, 2013. Toys R Us once again has their buy one get one 40%. Really good deal. Right there, Stealth Elf, you know the drill there. There's his screenshot. Pretty interesting. Kind of got him, caught him in flight, it looks like. Mega Ram Spyro. Series 3, back and better than ever. All new Wow Pow, increased level cap to 20. Featured characters, Light Core, Star Strike, Lava Bar for Rupture, Bumble Blast, Mega Ram Spyro. As you can see there, Mega Ram Spyro backwards compatible with every Skylanders entry. So, that said, we will go ahead and open this up. If all goes well, he will be uploading to YouTube around 4. I've taken all the pictures minus his. Obviously, he's not out of the packaging yet. So once I do that, tomorrow, the plan hopefully will be to get all of these posted to the blog. And then I will be caught up on all of the unboxings. Hopefully for a while. That would be nice. I can focus on the game at that point. Go ahead, here's a shot from the back. Not as cool as the Swappers. Since this was a launch day figure, note the absence of the tape on the label that stayed in the packaging, which is how I prefer it. If yours is taped for some reason and you want to keep it for labeling or, repackaging or display purposes, just make sure to cut it. That's probably not the label, but the tape. That's your best bet. Since it's open, you see that 45-degree angle there. Simply break it down like so. Flips back really easy. Then we can come in. Don't grab him by the wings or the horns. Go for the base. That way you're least likely to break something. Should look pretty nice. We'll take a good detailed look at him here shortly. Now we want to get the card and the sticker sheet out. So, let's come in, try not to put pressure on the card so as not to demin it. We'll begin. There's a shot of the sticker sheet. Really nice artwork there. Mega Ram Spyro on the name tag. Below that is a mobile code for the iOS games. Should be coming to Android pretty soon. Let's take a look at his stats. Really cool again on the card. You can see Mega Ram Spyro Series 3 and all of these stats. Again, these are particular to the cards. Keep that in mind. Power, 75 of 200. Armor, 60 of 200. Agility, pretty high, 110 of 200. And luck, 65 of 200. Add that all up, and what do we have? We have 310 out of 800. Again, pretty much matches exactly with what we saw from the Wave 1 IE characters available at launch day, so no real surprises there. That said, his slogan is all fired up. We'll go ahead and read his story first. Spyro hails from a rare line of magical purple dragons that come from a faraway land that few have ever traveled. It's been said that the scrolls of the ancients mention Spyro prominently, the old portal masters having chronicled his many exciting adventures and heroic deeds. Finally, it was Master Eon himself who reached out and invited him to join the Skylanders. From then on, evil faced a new enemy, and Skylanders gained a valued ally. His Wow Pow, as mentioned, it's called Head Start. Basically, they say you summon a magic worm ally at the end of your charge and send it after your enemies. The magic worm summoned at the end of the charge explodes after making contact with an enemy. You must execute a full charge in order to fire the worm, which may not be easy to pull off in the middle of a fight. It's best to recognize a fight just ahead and charge into the area. This, of course, kind of reminiscent with some of the mortar blasts, lob projectiles, things like that. Essentially, we're coming into the chapter and all of a sudden we spot Big Bang Trigger Happy back and realize it's a ton of enemies. So what you would want to do is come in. His secondary attack, of course, is the charge. If you take him down Blitz Spyro, you'd wind up with Ibex Wrath Charge, etc. Don't know. If you did his sheep burner path, I wonder if you could actually get to the Wow Pow a little quicker. Anyway, because it's actually like the last one, Ibex Wrath, where he gets the big evil looking. Alright, the batteries died there, but what I was getting at, if you actually had Spyro, say, on the sheep burner path, he could essentially get into that Wow Pow quicker, because Blitz Spyro, particularly the last one, like I said, Ibex Wrath, that actually increases the charge distance. So if you have to complete a full charge to do the Wow Pow, you could essentially come in, and they say there's no prerequisite, I guess, since he has charge, as his secondary attack. He basically, shoots fire, and then he charges with B. Or I guess on the gamepad, a different button. But, I don't know if that would, impact, say that, I came in and I bought his flight, and I bought all his fire upgrades, and then I took him down. Well, we'll just keep it basic. I won't do a path. We'll just buy all his upgrades outside of the charge, because he actually has one, if I remember right, in the first set of 4 that actually increases the charge distance. I don't know if then the Wow Pow, increases exponentially. Like, let's say if I just come in and the first thing I buy the guy is Head Start as Wow Pow, say it's going to do 90 damage, we'll just say. My question is, will it do the 90 damage there, and then if I go in and I bought Sprint Charge on his base upgrades, is it going to do 110? And then down Sheep Burner, would it be maxed at 110, and then Blitz Spyro, it would do like 140 or something? Or is it a case where I could go all the way down Blitz Spyro, and it's still going to do the same damage as it did if I was actually just doing the base box stock attack, charge? That may be something I do. I may come in, probably with Mega Ram Spyro, standard one, not the dark one, and just first thing I do, buy the Wow Pow and see what happens. Should be interesting, but that's something to think about there. Anyway, all that aside, we've covered his story, covered what that Wow Pow is about. To an extent, there's still some unanswered questions there, but let's take a look at Mega Ram Spyro. Kind of have an idea what it should look like since you've seen Dark Mega Ram Spyro. I use that lightly since that's not apparently official. But first thing the coloring, it's spot on. It's actually a little bit better, I think, than the SSA pose, unless mine's really dusty, which it shouldn't be. It's kind of more akin to the Giants coloring, which I felt was pretty good. the detail, I think this one's actually a bit better. It's kind of gone back to the classic wing there, not like that thick red trim like the giant Spyro had. Most notable difference, number one, is the tail. Number two, he's kind of in motion in this one. In the previous, he's just kind of been, like sitting or, raising a claw or something. In this one, you can tell, particularly from the backside, I mean, he is basically charging. And that, of course, makes sense because of these horns. And, of course, reminiscent, of what you see with Ibrex Wrath, that being his last one when he kind of grows these horns. So, but again, I feel like the purple's spot on, same facial features and recognition that he's had in Skylanders. I want to stress that. Really just, a good looking pose. There's nothing wrong with it, nothing too fancy, something different. Like I say, when you start to see some of these characters, he's got, 5 sitting right here. This is number 6, essentially. Kind of one of those deals, it makes sense. There are a couple, there's like Chrome Spyro and whatnot. I include the stuff that's available, readily available, not like a treasure hunt or something like that. So, that said, looks really good. Again, you can see there on the breastplate, he's got the gold coloration. A little bit, not quite as bright there. That might have been done. You got light coming down on the top. This could have been, intended to be shadowed intentionally. But really good detail. Again, kind of metallic colors on all of them. You can see the scales on his head, scales on the back. Spikes, nice gold color if you know it there. Again, the full underside is done up. It kind of gets brighter as you get to the back. I think, again, that's because, if you picture the light shining down. Underside of the wings, nicely done. He's got the blue base, magic base. Let's go ahead now. The most logical comparison for him would be Series 3 Dark Spyro, or as I will refer to it, Dark Mega Ram Spyro, just to distinguish the two, This comes down to personal preference. I actually think this looks pretty dadgum good. There's some legendaries and some dark characters that don't look that great, particularly compared to their standard one. This color scheme really fits him. There's plenty of silver to balance out, that dark navy blue. If I had to pick, I would of course go with purple because it fits his character better, but I have no problem at all with what they did with the Dark Mega Ram Spyro here. So same attention to detail, same color scheme. You're just swapping the purple for the dark color, and then the kind of bronzy gold copper for the silver. So I think this is a pretty dadgum good recolor on that one. Going backwards now, actually from Skylanders Giants, this was his pose. Again, didn't come out until late in the game. I think a lot of hardcore fans were upset about that. Hence probably why we have the original 3 this early in the game. The original 3 are the faithful trio, if you will: Spyro, Gilgrunt, Trigger Happy, all available right now. I thought this was actually a pretty good pose. There's nothing really menacing about it. It's just kind of a nice pose. If you remember the SSA entry, it was like Spyro and Gilgrunt fishing. This kind of just looks like, they caught Spyro sitting around somewhere looking at clouds, or having a daydream. So I have nothing wrong with it. Again, what was interesting, kind of added that, torched look and the clear knobs there on the wings. Obviously, the horn's not near as emphasized there. That's quite apparent, but not a bad pose in my opinion. Backwards now, farther, we get into the green base Spyros. This is Legendary Spyro. You can see the difference here. Legendary, Dark Spyro, and Spyro, all from SSA. Exact same pose, just recolored figures. I'll have pictures of these guys side by side on the blog for you. He actually looks pretty good as a Legendary as well. That said, I would prefer the Dark over the Legendary with Spyro. I think he wears the silver pretty dadgum good. Interesting thing here, and it always was kind of something I mentioned, solid silver on the bottom of the wings. There's no like tracing like you see there. I feel like had they have come in and done this same little striping detail on Dark Spyro, I feel like that would have been a nice accent there. That said, that is Dark Spyro is probably my favorite pose of the original Spyro. I will tell you why right now. as we look at the original Spyro, the purple's pretty accurate. The bronzy gold color is just kind of a... He's not quite as vibrant, I guess. Which, granted, you know, at the time he came out, you wouldn't know that this would exist or what it would look like. But something is just a little dull in terms of, like, the color. But I mean, overall, I mean, from 1, 2 to 3, pretty much an accurate representation. Again, right here, lacks that detail that we start to see with the giant figure, so something of note there. Obviously, the tail, similar structure, but you can't really see it well with his wing, but clearly not near as defined as on the Series 3 Spyro. If I were to rank his current poses, I would probably say Series 3 Mega Ram Spyro, Series 3 Dark Spyro, or Series 3 Dark Mega Ram Spyro, Dark Spyro, then I'd go Series 2, then Legendary, and then, actually I'd put regular Series 1 Spyro ahead of Legendary. But that's that. That's probably more information than you care to have. Again, on the blog, I'll have pictures of all the Spyros set up for you side by side. You can kind of make your own assessment there. Bottom line, this is a really good repose. They took the character, they put him in motion, kind of like we saw with Stealth Elf from Giants. Always a big fan of that. He is aggressive, and you can tell he's kind of sprinting, like I said, from the backside. The wings, you know, obviously turned down. That's going to, you know, streamline the air over you, make him a bit more aerodynamic. He's got the horns going like an Ibex Wrath. It looks like they would be sharp and cut you. The coloring is great. The detail very good. Again, traced out on the outside edges of the wings. I think that makes a big difference from the bottom side perspective. In all honesty, you really can't go wrong with either one of these. I'm a big fan of the dark one. I feel like the purple, I mean, I think it's because it's in a story, and, you know, that's his, like, trademark color scheme probably is what's happening to me. If you're a Spyro fan, though, the great news is he is available. He was available at launch. This is essentially the 6th, you know, standard fare Spyro. Nothing too difficult to chase down. You know, you just have to pick up the 3DS or the Dark Edition, you know, from GameStop this time around. Really nice pose, and that Wow Pow should be interesting again. What I'm wondering is if its damage is going to be scaled up. Say that we buy the Wow Pow first and use it only with the box stock secondary attack. I want to know then if when I buy Sprint Charge and the base upgrades, if the damage goes up, and then I want to know if I do Blitz Spyro, if the damage numbers go up, and if so, when at each interval in the path, or if it's just there at the end, or what. But the bottom line is, what I'm getting at, the Wow Pow requires a full charge. So if we do Ibex Wrath, you know, he's going to have to be way back here above Twin Blade Chop Chop to finish it, to actually shoot the worm right here. Whereas if we just have the base upgrades, he might get to be above Dark Spyro. And then if we have box stock, he could essentially be right here, charge at expire, and shoot the worm, which would in turn be advantageous, assuming the damage is the same. That is, of course, only in relation to the Wow Pow. It's kind of something that's got me interested. But his slogan, again, all fired up. Got a pretty sweet backstory there. Obviously, he is a big part of the Skylanders franchise. Kind of the face of the franchise still. Let's see here. Not quite sure what path I will do. I might be tempted to take this guy down Blitz Spyro and see if it affects the Wow Pow damage. I'm going to buy the Wow Pow first for research purposes. And then, if it's, say, deals the same damage box stock as it does all the way down Blitz Spyro, then I'll take Dark Mega Ram Spyro down Sheep Burner, which is my preferred path with him anyway. So, we'll see what happens. Again, what's cool about this, there's so many of these characters. I know the Series 3s in particularly very well. So what that allows me to do this time is actually kind of research, get some solid numbers, spend a little extra time, you know, compiling the information, which is what I like to do. So I will have a lot of tech-heavy information. Again, it's probably not for everyone. But for those of you that are really into things or really want to know damage numbers and make the best choice, you know, in the nth percentile type categories, etc., gonna have a lot of that in Swap Force, and I plan to do it with every character. This is the first I've mentioned it, I believe. Could have mentioned it earlier, but that's one of the things I'm planning on doing. So that's it. This is it. I am finally caught up with the unboxings. It took 2 weeks. That was working. Of course, I have a job. I think a lot of people don't realize that, but like I don't do this for a living. I actually work, and it's like a full-time job, 8-hour days, and sometimes you get caught and it's 10, 12. Then you got, errands to run. You have to make supper, everything like that. If I got to stay home and do this all the time and play the game, I'd be done with the game. I'd have that playthrough up, and I'd be showcasing you both pass for the swappers right now. So I've got that going against me. And then, like I said, I had the car show the day before this game came out. That took up a ton of my time. Still not completely caught up on that. I've got one more video I need to do, actually two, a couple of loose ends, to go there. But main thing, the unboxings are done. My goal is, as of tonight, which is going to be Monday again, I will hopefully be able to go in there and get the blog completely updated with these unboxings and those pictures. At that point in time, I've got Chapter 1 recorded. I need to edit it. I will probably try to go in there and get some of the gameplay going, and then I'm going to figure out the best way to do character introductions, etc. Might do things a little different. Again, I'll kind of update you that as I know. Might even do a channel update on it just to kind of get the point across. But Mega Ram Spyro, $9.99, $10.99 at Toys R Us. Good news though, buy one get one 40% is back at Toys R Us this week. That being from Sunday, October 27th through Saturday, November 2nd. So if you need Mega Ram Spyro and you want to pick up Big Bang Trigger Happy, boom, 40% off. Makes it worthwhile. But, and again, that's on all Skylanders and accessories. So if you need some Power A storage, Flynn's ship is surfaced at your local stores. You can pick that up, save a little bit of money on it all. So keep that in mind. But I think this is a really nice repose of them. And again, I'm kind of interested in A, how much damage the Wow Pow will do, and B, if that damage is going to change incrementally with upgrades. So I plan to find that out. Some of you probably already know, but I guess I'll do it the hard way and make myself do it and document it at each step. But really nice pose. Again, can't go wrong. Make sure you're subscribed. That way, as soon as I start cranking out playthroughs or character introductions, you'll be one of the first to know, first to see the videos. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Again, back to that on the blog, take that link at the top of this video description box down below. That will take you straight to a post related to nothing other than Series 3 Mega Ram Spyro. That's, of course, where you can find the pictures side by side. I'll probably do one of him and his dark counterpart and then a group shot. So there will be the stat cards, everything like that. So make sure to check the blog for that. And until next time, I will catch you later. And as Series 3 Mega Ram Spyro would say, I hope that you are all fired up about Skylanders SWAP Force.